Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Ohio State Football with Scarlet N Great here on YouTube. My name is Shane Larson, also known as the Boise Buckeye. Today, I'm going to be breaking down this week's recruiting news. We're going to be going over some insight to some of the guys that we've given offers to, what they're up to right now, some updates there, as well as the impact of being in Columbus. We had a couple people at the Indiana game, and they had a lot of reactions to that. So I want to talk a little bit about the impact of actually being at the shoe and what that can do for our recruits. But before we do that, guys, I want to say thank you on behalf of Corey, Johnny, and myself. Thank you guys so much for helping us get to 5,000 subscribers. So we told you guys before, if we hit 5,000 before the Michigan game, which we obviously did, we were going to be doing a giveaway. So stay tuned for Johnny's video, which will be Friday. He'll be doing an injury report for this week's matchup. And on that, he'll give you the details of when the giveaway is going to be and how to partake in the giveaway. But we have it all set to go. We want to do a giveaway because you guys have helped us by subscribing to the channel. If this is your first time watching, hit that subscribe button, take part in the giveaway. Again, join us again Friday for the video with Johnny on the injury update. So again, my name's Shane Larson, also known as the Boise Buckeye, or I go by the Game Time Guru if you follow me on Twitter there. And I'm going to be breaking this down for you guys with a couple of different pieces of information. Now, first, I want to start with this cat right here, Joshua Mickens, 6'5", 225-pound edge rusher, class of 2023. Now, he is committed to LSU. I wanted to bring this up because we did offer this 4-star edge rusher, and it looks like he could be making an official visit to Columbus, which shows that although he is committed to LSU, something, maybe it's Jimmy Knowles, maybe it's the production that they've seen from the defensive front, something is exciting him about Ohio State. So it looks like Joshua Mickens, if you guys keep an eye on this guy, he could be coming to take a visit to Ohio State, which I'll talk about in just a second. That actually means a lot, right? If we can get these guys to the shoe, if we can get them in Columbus for a game day experience, it obviously has an impact. So it looks like while he is committed to LSU, the 6'5" edge rusher, class of 2023, could be making an official visit to Columbus. Now, this next one I want to talk about because it's pretty important, and this is Mark Fletcher. Fletcher's the 6'1", 225-pound running back, okay? We initially had this guy set in stone, and as you guys know, the running back position is extremely important. At the beginning of the season, I would have told you, man, we're too deep at the running back position right now. We've got too many dogs, too many chefs in the kitchen, right? But as you've seen, the durability of these running backs, it's always week to week, and you'll hear it from Johnny too. Week to week, it's a different lineup, different running backs needing to step up. So we are seeing that the depth is important at Ohio State with what we're doing. We're starting to get our run game intact. We're trying to figure that out. Dallin Hayden stepping up right now, but you never know. Dallin Hayden was third on the depth chart at the beginning of the season. Could have even been fourth if you wanted to go that far, but he is now getting a lot of the reps, and it's possible he might get even more as we lead up to the next 2 weeks of the season through Maryland and Michigan. So the running back position is extremely important. Mark Fletcher is one of those guys that we were stoked to have, right? We had him set in stone, but keep in mind, he went to Florida to watch the game against South Carolina, and it looks like he's now opening up his options to at least visit some other schools. Well, we want every one of those recruits to be able to do that and go and have their opportunity to check out other schools. It kind of makes me a little bit nervous because we need running back depth, as you guys all know, and this guy is an absolute beast. 6'1", 225 pounds. We need this guy. So just like coming to the shoe can have an impact on people, we know that going elsewhere can have an impact on people. I would like to imagine that we can still land this guy, but it's actually a deep concern for Ohio State's coaching staff if they don't land him, because this is a big piece for the running back depth for the future of this program. I wanted to bring up one other guy, Mason Short. If you guys haven't heard about him, he's not short at all. It's kind of funny how his last name is. He's a 6'7", 280-pound lineman, and he's going to be in Columbus. He's going to be in Columbus for the Michigan game. So last game of the season, last home game of the whole year, he'll be here to check it out. But that could be important for us as well. So those three in particular, Joshua Mickens, Mark Fletcher, Mason Short, all of those guys, some information on that. Hopefully we can still land Fletcher. Hopefully Mickens comes to Columbus and he gets to see something big happen. And hopefully Short can be drawn to the crowd that is in Columbus. Now, I told you guys I wanted to bring this piece up. the impact of actually coming to the shoe, what that actually does to the recruits. Shout out to 11 Warriors. I told you guys they do a great job with providing some of this information. I always like to see what, we always know that the recruits are coming to the shoe. We always know that. That's the whole point. Get them to the games, let them see what it's like, and see if you can shift. And that is a big part of why Buckeye Nation is so impactful, because game day at the shoe is special, right? It's special all the way around. It's not just the campus itself. The campus is cool and all, but it's coming to the actual game and seeing the excitement from the fans. Well, this last week we're playing Indiana, right? And it's not like we're playing an unbelievably talented team, but the atmosphere at the shoe had a big impact this week. So you guys heard me talk about Jaden Reddell before, and I was just going to read you a little bit about what he said about being at the game. So he showed up at the Indiana game. There was potential that he was going to be at the Michigan game, but he ended up coming to the Indiana game, and he said, "I can't wait to go back." Right? That was one of the things he said. He goes, "I cannot wait to go back," which gives us a little bit of hope that we might be pushing him, and he might be, fully committed to Ohio State. If he's already seeing that he can't wait to go back, he feels like this is his home. He loved the coaches and he loved the visit. So there's something special about being there. This is not the Michigan game. He chose to come to the Indiana game, where that was the choice that was given to him. He still came here, had an amazing impact. So Jaden Reddell, tight end, class of 2024, had an amazing experience. The other guy is Joshua Padilla. He's our 2023 commit. And as a lineman, an interior lineman, he said, "I think my biggest takeaway from the game was how good our running game was." Our running game? It's interesting because our running game is improved. We're making strides in that location, in that area. But his biggest takeaway of that game was how good our running game was, which that is why it's cool for these guys to come to the stadium and actually experience everything on the field. You get to see the difference. I think some of these linemen, especially, you watch the games on TV and you don't get to see it up close and personal. So I'll explain, even from the high school level, right? I own a business where I cover Idaho high school sports, and I do it from the sidelines with social media coverage. It's called the Idaho Underground Sports Network. And even being on the field, just like doing Instagram highlights and so forth and getting coverage on the field, it's so much different than watching it on TV. You have a different perspective of the run game, where as somebody at home might say, "Oh, well, they're missing tons of blocks, this, that, and the third." When you're on the field, there's a different perspective. So I do believe that there's just a different feel for it when you can get people there. So when guys like, Padilla are over here saying, my biggest takeaway is how good our running game was. Well, it was against Indiana, but it's just good to see, because you can start to see everything from the field's perspective and see the movement and the assignments and everything that everyone's doing, and get to actually see the linemen. You're watching the linemen right in front of you make their reads and their blocks. So it's awesome. If you go to 11warriors.com, you can read some of the other ones, or just go on to Twitter and read some of these recruits' tweets about it. Some of them mentioned the cold weather, which could play a factor in the recruiting. It is one of those things with Ohio State that you have to deal with the November weather. It gets chilly. And so that's a factor to put in there, which is why it's so important for these coaches to consistently have this personable contact relationship with these players, because a lot of these skill position guys might prefer to play in warmer weather, right? It's hard to play in the cold and still be able to play to your, best ability, and, play in the snow and the rain and all that stuff. But it looks like, some of these guys came there, it was chilly, and they still had a very, very positive experience, which speaks to Buckeye Nation, the rest of you guys, and everyone else. So again, that's the recruiting update for this week. We're going to continue to just bring up little updates every single week. So stay tuned. Make sure you're following our channel so that you can stay up to date with some of this stuff. And we'll just give you little bits and pieces of information on recruiting each week as we get it, so that we can, find out more about the future of this Buckeye program. So leave us a comment. Let us know who you're excited for out of the recruits we spoke about today. Do you think that Mark Fletcher actually stays with us, the 6'1" running back? Let us know. And again, my name is Shane Larson, also known as the Game Time Guru, the Boise Buckeye. And with that being said, God bless and go Bucks.